feel like sharing. Sinek says, start with why. And we've been hearing this for a couple of years now. It's all over social media. It went viral at some point due to a TED Talk. And it's being preached by basically almost every marketeers and branding gurus out there. The question is, can it really work? What inspired this topic today was a question by one of you yesterday. Um, does the purpose, does the why change with state? And this has got to do with the framework, the 7 transformation framework, which I introduced, I think yesterday or the day before, can't remember. By the way, if you guys have an inspiration on how I can name my framework, please let me know, because I'm having a hard time naming my framework. Coming back to this topic, Sinek says, start with why. Can it really work? Well, to understand this, to explore this, I would like to say it from a couple of perspectives. The first of which is the messaging standpoint. And ironically enough, today, as I was sharing, I was thinking about what I want to share tonight. I was working on this as well. I was working on this because of the mental health Facebook group that I have created. And the reason why I created that Facebook group in first place was because I have a dream, I have a vision that I want to see realized. This dream is not for me, this dream is for humanity. But the problem is I needed to start somewhere. And all my mentors said we need to start with something understandable, easily understandable. So I find myself having to hold back a lot. I find myself having to hold back a lot because what I really want to share is too difficult for people to grasp. But at the same time, it is absolutely critical for humanity to grasp it at this point in time. It is absolutely critical. But everyone keep telling me, you need to amplify it. You need to make it so that the nasi lemak seller can understand. So I asked myself, like, what is the purpose? And just now I mentioned about how we're going to investigate this. The first bit of this comes from a marketing perspective. When we want to share our message, we need to share it in a way that enrolls people. Otherwise, if we keep on saying only something that only we can understand, how will we actually enroll people? So from a marketing perspective, we need to share it in terms of why should they be enrolled into what we want to enroll them to? Why should they buy our program? Why should they buy a product? Why should they listen to us? Why they this, why they that? Not why they did something, but why should they do what we want them to do? Start with why, what's in it for them? Now, the problem with that first initial way of why is, yes, it will enroll. But what if you, or what if I don't feel enrolled? I can enroll everyone, but what if what they want is not aligned with what I want? Right? And that's the kicker. That's the kicker when it comes to the second part, which is my why. Why do I want to enroll them into whatever it is I want to enroll them to? Why do I want them to do this and that? And that's a facet that we need to consider as well. So it's not just about why should they want what we have, but it's about why we want them to do what we want them to do. So for many people, this is going to be a very obvious thing, is that of course I want them to join my course. My course is great. Of course I want them to buy my product because I want to make money. Of course I want to do this. Of course I want to do that. But here's the other kicker that we need to understand. Here's the other facet of it we need to understand. Is our why really the big why? Is our why really the most important thing we want to express? Because you see, guys, there is the small why and then there is the big why. There's two different kinds of whys. The small whys are the kind of whys which is temporary, that is urgent, right? As an example, if you're hungry, let's go get some food. Why? Because I'm hungry lah. Before the second wave of CMCO, I used to volunteer in a soup kitchen, and I see firsthand how people behave when they're hungry. These are B40 families. These are people who are really starving every day. When they get hungry, they go a bit, impatient. So the beneficiaries, they can bang on doors, say, hey, faster a bit. But for as long as people, for as long for a vantage point, from the benefit that I have, looking at these people, they're constantly just surviving day to day. And sometimes I would be able to, I have the opportunity sometimes, not all the time, to talk to them, because they need warming up too. They cannot just tell you all their stories. And when they do tell you the stories, they want something in return. My experience of them is that they can't see past the single day. It's tough being them. It's tough living their life. Yes. But unless they can see beyond what's today, unless they can start to think in terms of the next few months, they will always be in this situation where they are thinking about what's for dinner. How can I put food on the table for dinner? So there's a small why. And for the people who are having a lot of trouble, let's say, in the yogic traditions, there are the 7 chakras that starts from the base, which is a representation of the sexual reproductive system, men and women alike. And when the Kundalini energy is at that point, all someone can think about is sex. And when the Kundalini energy rises up a little bit to the navel area, all someone can think about is their hunger. Onto the next stage of development, it rises up to the heart level, the heart chakra. And some of you who are just dropping in might be thinking this woo-woo. Actually, it's not. It's just something which, the ancient yogis, they do not know all these things about psychology. They just put it in a way that they can understand. When it comes to the heart, it's about their own desires. Like, what else do they want? What else do we want? Is it money? Is it relationships? Is it about looking better? So there is a small why. If, let's say, I look at myself all my life and I'm obese, what is my heart's burning desire right now is I want to look better. Hope you guys can understand this. So there is the small why. Oh, I just want to look better. I want to make more money. I want to have better relationships. I want to climb the corporate ladder. I want to put food on the table. I want to make slightly more income. There is a small why. And this small why changes with states all the time. All the time. And then there's the big why. So the big whys are the kind of why which is the answer to the question of why are you on this planet Earth? And that, my friends, do not change with your states. That does not change unless your worldview itself change. Now, unless your answer to the question of why you're on this earth changes, your identity won't change. And if your identity doesn't change, your states won't change. So that is the big why. So question the why that we really need to think about, the true biggest reason why that we need to think about, goes beyond why do we want to have more money. It goes beyond why do we want to look better. It goes beyond why do we want to have better relationships. It is more along the question of why am I here? When I say here, I'm not talking about here on earth. I'm talking about why am I here on a deep, deep, deep level, why do you believe God put you on this earth? Why are you born? What is the meaning of existence to you? What is the purpose of your life? And if you're an atheist, okay, you don't believe in God. Okay, cool. That's fine as well. But why are you here? If you're a fatalist, what is it? Fatalist? No, hold on. Friedrich Nietzsche calls it something. I forgot what's the name already. But if you believe that life has no meaning unless you give it meaning, then what is the meaning that you have given it to? What is the meaning that you decided on? That, my friends, is the biggest why. Whatever your answer to this question determines who you think you are, which is your identity. And notice I'm saying who you think you are instead of who you really are, because who you really are is a never-ending question. So there's a big why, there's a small why, and it's the why you are sharing to people. When you're trying to enroll people into whatever it is that you do, the why that you give them. What I have discovered today, or rather what I have come to remember, is that my why that I give to them, to people, to all of you who are listening, why you should listen to me, why you should enroll in what I'm sharing with you guys, it must be aligned with why I want to do this right now, in mind with my small why. And my small whys, all of the small whys must be completely stacked up and be in line with why I believe, what is the purpose of my life. I believe that all of my lessons, all of the failures that I have in the past has allowed me to discover something extremely fundamental to humanity, which is shown in the 7 transformation framework that I showed you guys the other day. I truly believe that if this was taught in schools, entire humanity will change, because we wouldn't waste so much time. We wouldn't waste so much time chasing after pointless objects. Everyone, from a very young age, as early as the next generation, could grow up having extreme clarity of exactly what they want to do with their life. And they could then put all their energy in pursuing what everyone tells them. That is my belief. And that purpose manifests into my small why. Why am I sharing? Why am I creating a Facebook group? Why did I launch Union of Strength? Why am I doing these Facebook Lives every day? Why do I want to get in shape? And I'll tell you why. I'm doing these Facebook Lives because small bits and pieces here, I want to attract attention. I want you guys to pay attention. I want you guys to pay attention to me, because I have a message which I want to share. I have a mission that I want to give. I want to have a mission which I want to share. I want to enroll people into. I want to get in shape so that people, I don't really care about being looked up to, but it matters to people. People need to look up to someone so that they can listen. So I want to be that person, just so that it ties in with my purpose. I want to make money so that I don't have to worry about money as I live my purpose. I don't really care that much about romantic relationships, because I don't care about the small pleasure about that, because I'm trying to reach my ultimate purpose. And then comes what's in it for you guys. And I'm saying that if you guys follow my steps, if you guys follow my transformational framework, you guys can have the most advanced, or rather, you guys can have self actualization. Because when you guys are, because when you guys are living your best selves, you become limitless. You can tap into that one thing which people can consider to be a power. Hi Zainab. Can tap into that your own superpowers. You guys can realize your ultimate potential. And for those of you who really struggling to survive right now, just by doing these practices that I'm teaching you guys can try. Those of you who believe in God, doing the practices will help you come closer to divinity. Those who will find your purpose. Those of you who are looking towards increasing your wealth, increasing your health, having better relationships, you are going to get all of those things just because you follow the framework. So you see, the why you guys should, with why I want to do something, with why I'm putting in planet Earth, are completely aligned. And I hope that you guys find your own three whys as well. And that's my sharing for today. I wonder if you guys have any question. If you guys have some question, do ask them, because it is my mission and my blessing to continue to do this. And I hope you guys, and I hope I can hear from you guys more often. And when I hear questions, I get very happy and excited. And I'll then be able to use that question as a medium, as a way for me to spread my message even further. So until then, I shall see you guys tomorrow, 6:45 a.m. As usual. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay true. I shall see you very, very soon.